Tallahassee officials are defending their decision to involve the 23-year-old woman at all.
This recent Florida State graduate was trying to help police with a drug investigation. Then she went missing. After a 2-day search, Rachel Hoffman was found.
I was in Chick-fil-A. Had to be late last week, probably this weekend. Order my food, man. If you move around a lot, man, you gotta download the apps of the places that you go to, that you frequent. And join the membership clubs. You got to, man. Unless you just got so much money, it doesn't matter to you, man. It's so much benefit in it, man. They give away a lot of rewards. But anyway, I'm in Chick-fil-A. I'm picking up lunch, man, and I order my food, and then I'm walking to the restroom to wash my hands. There's this kid, he's sitting at the table with this, like, if I had to guess, it would be a dad, older brother, little brother. The smaller dude, he had to be probably like 5 to 7 years old. He has on the Michael Jordan hat. So I walked to the bathroom and I'm thinking, I'm a LeBron fan, guys. I don't have a team, but I just like whatever team LeBron on. That's who I am. I know he's most hated, but that's one big reason I'm a fan. So anyway, the kid got on a Jordan hat, and I've always said, hey man, LeBron is the GOAT. I couldn't really articulate it, but then I said, nah, LeBron is the GOAT because he's done so much more on and off the court. But I really realized Jordan has done more on the court, but LeBron has done for longer, and he's done more off the court. Anyway, but when I see that kid, man, in 2024 sitting there with the Jordan hat on, I said, I think I finally can solidify in my mind who the GOAT is. So I walked back out and I awkwardly asked the dad, can I ask his son a question? The dad said, yeah, you can ask him. I said, do you know who that is? I didn't even get to finish the question. He said, Michael Jordan. I told him, I said, brother, you just helped me solidify in my mind who the GOAT is of all time in basketball. It has to be Jordan, because if a kid in 2024, a 5 to 7-year-old kid can tell me, is wearing the memorabilia, not only that, but can tell me exactly who it is with excitement, I mean, that's just too much, man. I'm pretty sure there'll be a kid years later that'll do the same thing for LeBron, and then it would change my mind. Anyway, I'm saying all that to say, I also figured out who the strongest people in the world are. It has to be parents. Because to watch what this world and a lot of times what the American government does to our children, man, I don't have any, but I look at kids and like we all feel a sense of responsibility for them. But you guys who do have children and have had to watch what happens to them, it takes a different kind of strength. We're gonna do it different today, guys. We are gonna finish that video on the back end, but let's do it different today, man. Do you know about this young lady? Have you ever heard of Rachel Hoffman, man? If not, we're going to learn about it. I'm reading from ABC News, an article that was printed July the 25th, 2008, 1:39 p.m. Botched sting. I first seen this on Twitter. And when I seen it, I was outraged. So I looked it up. And like I said, this is where we're going to start. Botched sting. Killed with gun she was supposed to buy. Alone, with no training, a young woman dies when sting falls apart. No training, a botched drug sting a dead 23-year-old college graduate. But authorities in Tallahassee, Florida have yet to take action against the police responsible for an undercover operation that led to the death of Rachel Hoffman, a recent graduate of Florida State University. Shout out FSU. Police Chief Dennis Jones, interviewed for tonight's 2020 broadcast, says he does not accept that his department is in any way responsible for the death of the young woman. When you hear what happens, the audacity of this coward DT to sit there and say that. Do we feel responsible? We're responsible for the safety of this community, Jones said, labeling Hoffman a criminal. See, just like we watched the videos together, guys, this is my first time reading this. You get my real-time reaction. I got to power down and repent because I want to find this guy. When you find out what happened for him to be speaking like this, do we feel responsible? We're responsible for the safety of this community, Jones said, labeling Hoffman, Rachel Hoffman, 23-year-old recent Florida State University graduate, a criminal because she was caught twice with a baggie of marijuana. People we use as confidential informants are people that are familiar with the drug trade. She was caught twice. I didn't write this report. I didn't look up the case, guys. We're doing it just like we're doing the videos. We're learning together with a baggie of marijuana. And he says people we use as confidential informants are people that are familiar with the drug trade. In the case of Hoffman, her friends say she refused to inform on friends who smoked grass. Instead, says the friends, police pushed Hoffman to work undercover against two men considered much bigger in the drug scene and to try to buy a gun. A transaction involving a gun can bring much more serious charges. Former FBI agent Brad Garrett, an ABC News consultant, says it made no sense to use an inexperienced person like Rachel for a gun deal. You have her make the phone call, you have the bad guys come into the picture, and you never have her go to them, said Garrett, a veteran of scores of such undercover deals. He's saying that's what you do. You make the phone calls, you go ahead and set the deal up, kind of like they do with that Predator thing, where they trick the people to come, the woman or the man to come to the location, but it was never a child anyway. But even if it was, they're never going to see the child because the cops and the dude come out. That's what this dude is saying he has done and would do in this situation. But instead, like I said, we're going to keep reading. You arrest them in the park and she's never exposed to the gun or the dope, said Garrett. Again, he's giving his rendition of what should happen. In the Hoffman case, police sent, no, her name ain't no damn, her name is Rachel. In Rachel's case, police sent her out alone with only one or two officers trailing her. The chief concedes she had not received any training as a confidential informer or CI before the dangerous mission. As far as the training she receives, as far as the training for as a CI, we don't provide training for I'm gonna get through it. We don't provide training for CIs, Jones told 2020. We probably got to try to find that. I might link this. If I find this interview, it has to be on the internet, I'll link it in the description, guys. After the suspect twice changed the location of the meeting place, police say they lost contact with the young woman. I guess she isn't the only one that wasn't trained real well. Both her cell phone and her hidden microphone were apparently out of range, police say. And that's where that article ends, guys. So what I'm gonna try to do real quick, I just want to read you, if I can find it. I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time because I'm gonna tell you how I feel about this. I'm gonna give you the overview of what happened here, and we're gonna get out of here, man. If I can't find it, I just can't find it. It's cool. I'll give you the overview of what happens, man. This young lady, man, this 23-year-old Rachel Hoffman, somebody's daughter, man. Apparently she got caught with a couple of grams of weed, and I do mean a couple of grams of weed. And the great, experienced, brave, courageous, protect and serve domestic terrorists in Tallahassee decided that they could use this young lady, this inexperienced, man, she smoked weed, homie. Bruh, she smoked weed. This is what was the article? It was 2008. She smoked weed, big dog. She don't know nothing about nothing, man, for you to be sending her into no hostile, high violence prone situations, man. You sent somebody's daughter in there because you wanted, like, you had that much of what was it? You were fiending for these people, whoever they were. We'll find out if I remember correctly, guys, because I'm not going to read the article. Like I said, I will leave as many links as I can in the description. They sent her on this undercover mission. This chief proudly, according to this article, gets on 2020 and says, hey, that's not our responsibility because she's a criminal. That girl was no damn criminal, homie. She smoked weed. Hey, what is it, 2008? Now we're, 2024? So you subtract 4, like 16 years later, big dog, she would have been, 39? Very fucking young, homeboy. They're about to decriminalize weed in Florida, coward. You caught this girl with some fucking marijuana and you sent her to the lion's den to get some people you had a fucking hard on for because you wasn't experienced enough. You wasn't, obviously, you talking about y'all don't train CIs, Negro. You didn't get trained in leadership. How in the hell do you get this 23-year-old girl, somebody's daughter, I don't know if she has siblings. Let's just stop right there with the parents because that's more than enough. A human being. You got such a hard on for whatever criminals you got in your community, man, that you sent a very innocent weed smoker in to get them and get her killed. They killed this girl. Somebody did. That's reports. And they ain't find her body till a couple of days later. That's what the beginning of that video was saying. They sent her in. That Rachel was found too. I cut it off right. The Rachel was found. You're gonna hear she was found dead, bro. And you, this guy, did you hear that? I gotta find the interview. You guys look it up on your own time. There's no way in hell that grown ass man, even if it was a woman, got on TV after this young girl lost her life like that, called her a criminal and said, we don't train them, that's not our responsibility. Then who the hell was it, sir? The article says y'all try to get her to snitch on her friends that smoke grass, Negro. I can already tell they ain't doing nothing but smoking grass, and probably on some more drugs and that I don't want to downplay, because a lot of those drugs are dangerous. But anytime I hear somebody saying they smoking grass, but they ain't really doing a whole lot out there. I mean, that's just, especially when you talk about college kids, they go on to become doctors and nurses and lawyers, and, and I'm not saying that always happens, because I don't want to stereotype people, because good and bad people come from every walk of life, but I'm just trying to tell you, like, we had no reason to believe that this lady was a violent criminal because y'all caught her with some, with her smoke sack a couple times, big dog. And your officers tried to bully her into snitching on her friends, and when she wouldn't, they succeeded into bullying her into going into a very hot volatile. And I know that beginning of this video was kind of lengthy when I said I was in Chick-fil-A, but when I was thinking about this case, man, and I knew I was gonna read the article instead of just watching a video like we usually do, it just popped in my mind. Like, it literally occurred to me, like, parents really have to be strong. I don't know any more about this case. I don't know if it's Rachel's dad, her mom. I don't know if she's an adopted family. I don't know. I heard about this case. It popped up on my Twitter feed. Like I said, I really wish, I'm trying to right now and I'm unable to, I could find the Twitter headline that I seen. Okay, here it is right here. Morbid Knowledge on Twitter. At the young age of 22, Rachel Hoffman is the picture that I'm going to put in the thumbnail with it. A woman from Florida came to the attention of Tallahassee police officers in February 2007 when she was found with 25 grams of weed during a routine traffic stop. Subsequent searches of her apartment revealed more illicit substances. Facing a potential 4-year prison sentence, Rachel was given an alternative by the officers. She could avoid charges by becoming an informant in a sting operation. Rachel agreed and was tasked with buying 1,500 pills, 56 grams of coke, and 2 handguns. However, the dealers quickly grew suspicious and discovered the wire the police had placed on her, the one they said went missing. Tragically, they shot her with one of the handguns she was meant to buy. And she lost her life. The officers involved in the operation were suspended with pay, and the family filed a lawsuit against the city. Against the city. That's what the story says. On Twitter, and that's what drew me into this. And I'm just outraged by it. I don't know if I just lost my train of thought right there or not, man, but I'm outraged by it. Like, when I heard that, like, even when I hear more illicit substances, like, come on, big dog, you can't be sending her into the fire like that. Now, if she was built like that, if this chief would have got on TV and said, well, like this, what was really going on behind the scenes. There's a case right now, I think it's out of Philadelphia, where a young man, I don't know why I be mixing words up like that. He's about to plead guilty for murdering a local journalist up there, right? And what happens is his mom is now on TV, and it confused me at first, because she was saying, hey, I'm proud of my son for admitting, taking responsibility for this. And she also said, I spoke with the victim's family too. But then she's also saying, I want the evidence to come out in this case. And what you end up finding out is that the journalist apparently was having a sexual relationship with this young man even when he was still a minor. So I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Centoria Brown case, but it may be something like that going on, where he had groomed this young man. Mom is saying that her son is addicted to drugs and needing a lot of help to get off of him. And so maybe the kid was abused, and up until the point he became an adult. I wasn't there, so I'm not justifying anything, but I just point to situations like that. If you could say, like, okay, well, this is what she was doing, and like, y'all might see her as an angel, but this is what we have evidence of going on behind the scene, I'm still not going, okay, you sending her into a situation like that without every base being covered. Like, one of your brothers snitched on you, said, ain't no way in hell y'all should have did that. And I ain't no law enforcement DT, and I know that. Common sense says that. But, I mean, it would make it a little more understandable. Your coward just got on the TV and said it ain't our responsibility. Sir, your officers sent that young baby into that situation. She was 23 years old. She was a kid. Y'all sent her into that situation and die, and then add insult to injury. You get on TV and act like she was some fucking Trailhand Bill, reporting live from South Florida, man. Y'all look up Rachel, man. See what you can find out. Pray for her parents, man. Like, because I don't know how in the hell some of these parents, hers and others, man, they just turned into all out, you know what I mean? What would they be in those vigilantes? Y'all be safe.
This recent Florida State graduate was trying to help police with a drug investigation. Then she went missing. After a 2-day search, Rachel Hoffman was found dead in a rural area near Tallahassee. Police say Hoffman had agreed to help them catch 2 drug dealers because she wanted to avoid jail time for her own criminal activity. She was facing charges of using and selling marijuana and ecstasy.
Did she smoke marijuana? Yes. Fine. But they went in, they put her in a situation where she was asked to go in and purchase 1,500 pills of ecstasy, crack cocaine, and a firearm. She has no experience with crack cocaine. She definitely has no experience with a firearm. This young girl.
The bust was supposed to happen at this park, but investigators say the targets changed the location at the last minute. Police say they urged Hoffman to call the whole thing off, but she didn't. Now the Tallahassee officials are defending their decision to involve the 23-year-old woman at all.
We firmly believed, and the investigator firmly believed, that she was fully competent and fully able to carry out this investigation. She had been involved in the drug trade. She knew both Green and Bradshaw. In fact, we didn't know who they were. She brought them to us. These were people that she was acquainted with, not the Tallahassee Police Department.
Andrea Green and Daniela Bradshaw have been arrested in connection with Hoffman's murder. So far, they've been charged with kidnapping and armed robbery. More charges are pending. Brian Thomas, The Associated Press.
Rest in peace, Rachel, man. I heard all of that at the same time you guys did, man. First thing I want to say is I already said it. Rest in peace, Rachel, man. I don't sugarcoat nothing, try to sweep nothing under the rug, man. I don't know what happened in this case. That was, like I said, 2008. I'm pretty sure that was a resolution to those guys, whether they were found guilty or innocent or not. Right now, because I don't know, I'm American through and through. I say that all the time, guys. Them being accused of something doesn't mean that they did it. If they were found guilty, they had evidence, that's another situation. But at this point in the story, knowing what I know and what I have to go on, the only criminals and definitely guilty of murder, the murderers in this account are definitely the cops, man. You know what I mean? Rachel, if you out there, because they said the ecstasy. Remember I said it was more to it? Okay, Rachel, it does sound like you were familiar, a little bit more familiar with the the game than maybe I would have thought, which, it happens. But I'm still with the attorney, man. Like, you don't send, and even if you do, like, you don't, but even if you do, you make sure it gotta be fail-proof, man. It gotta be fail-proof, man. And y'all did not do that. And then for y'all to get on the camera and be like, all these excuses, well, she brought them. We ain't even know, no, you was a coward, you was a domestic terrorist. And I would love to know where these cowards are at today, because they probably still out there down there in Tallahassee or somewhere else terrorizing the community and then blaming the community for it, man. I have nothing, man. I have nothing. Thank you if you made it this far. If you liked the video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. If you care to go a little further than that, maybe even subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out a few of the other videos on the channel. Either way, y'all be safe.
Did she smoke marijuana? Yes. Fine. But they went in, they put her in a situation where she was asked to go in and purchase 1,500 pills of ecstasy, crack cocaine, and a firearm. She has no experience with crack cocaine. She definitely has no experience with a firearm. This young girl.
The bust was supposed to happen at this park, but investigators say the targets changed the location at the last minute. Police say they urged Hoffman to call the whole thing off, but she didn't. Now the Tallahassee officials are defending their decision to involve the 23-year-old woman at all.
We firmly believed, and the investigator firmly believed, that she was fully competent and fully able to carry out this investigation. She had been involved in the drug trade. She knew both Green and Bradshaw. In fact, we didn't know who they were. She brought them to us. These were people that she was acquainted with, not the Tallahassee Police Department.
The chief said it's y'all job to keep y'all community safe. But you got big-time drug dealers in your neighborhoods and you don't know anything about them. So you got to bully a 23-year-old recreational drug user into giving her life away, trying to catch them because you can't. Then you blame her for it when it go left. Boy, y'all different.